Hello and welcome to Brewbay's podcast. I am your host, Danielle Snicker, and in the studio with me today is no one. That is because the girls have just been super busy. We had a lot of craziness going on this weekend. Nothing bad, just a lot of events, a lot of out of town. It was just a lot, and they needed a little time. But I have some more time in the summer than most people do. And I have been on a mission to actually visit every craft brewery in the Tampa Bay area this summer, which if you didn't listen to the last episode, you should, because we talk about how you should be supporting your local craft breweries. And I am on a mission to do that. In that endeavor, I thought, you know what? Let me give the girls a break and I can talk to you about some of the really, really cool places that I've gone to visit in the last few weeks. I have been able to go around all over the place. I've been to anniversary parties for breweries. I've been to beer releases. I've been to just, I went to a horse racing event. I just all the time, whatever's going on, if I can make it there, then I go. And it's been a lot of fun. But I did want to tell you guys about a couple really cool things that I have found at certain breweries. One of the first places that I visited was Golden Isles Brewing in St. Pete. It is not all the way downtown. It's a little, I don't want to say north. It's just a little different place than downtown. And I absolutely love this place. But there was a couple of things that really stood out for me. Number one was that they have a separate area for over 21, which to me seems so cool because some of the things that we get is that, breweries do want to be family friendly. They want to be a place where the whole community can gather. And that also means young families and that means children. And so they created a space at Golden Isles that is just for 21 and up. There's an outdoor space, there's an indoor space. This way, if you don't want to be around kids, you absolutely can and still enjoy the brewery. But if you are a family that does have kids, you can go to this other space. It's right out front. It's beautiful, also indoor, outdoor. And you can go there and also enjoy your time. And I thought that was just such a great way to innovate. Again, last episode, we talked about innovation in the market and how that's really going to help some businesses kind of stay through this slower time. And to me, that was one that was just really great. I love seeing it. That is a problem that they saw in the industry, something that beer enthusiasts and beer curious and just people that come out saw and were complaining about, and they fixed it. And honestly, I saw both spaces and they were beautiful and they looked super fun, and nobody was going to lose out on anything by going to one space or the other. So I thought that was a really great way to solve a problem in the industry. One of the other places that I went to was a place in downtown St. Pete, and it was called Green Turtle. And honestly, I want to tell you guys about my experience there. This had such a different feel to it. When you go in, you feel like you're walking into an Irish pub, which to me is such a different experience than we see at almost any other brewery. I have not experienced a craft brewery that felt this much like an Irish pub. And I love a good Irish pub. But when I went in and kind of saw, it was very European feeling. They just had this like lounge area where you could sit that just definitely had that pub feeling. And then they have cask ale, which is something that we don't see a lot of. And they had three different types, which I thought was amazing. They do work with a restaurant that does British food. So you can get a true like experience of being there. And honestly, I thought it was just such a different way of going about it. And it was something I really enjoyed while I was there. And they do a lot of imports. So they had a lot of beer that they imported that was all European beer. So any of the guest taps were all European beers, which just kind of goes with the theme. And then they have cask ales, and then they have a bunch of their own. And it was such a welcoming environment. I got to talk to the owner. One of the beer tenders came in, and I just really got a feel for the place. And if you are in downtown St. Pete and you have not been to Green Turtle, please go there. Some of the things I will say is I really hope they're only about a year old. I think they're going to be a year old next month. Some of the things that I hope to see from them is actually events that are very, very European feeling. I don't know what those are. I mean, I've been to Europe. I don't know exactly what events they hold because of course, as a visitor, you just kind of go in and out. But I hope maybe even help them do some research. I don't know, or have them do the research. And maybe they already know. I don't know. But just instead of doing your trivia or your, music, I really, really hope to see them just really dig into that European Irish pub kind of feel and just kind of let that take over their events, who they bring in as musicians. They've already done that with the food. So I just hope they give you that full experience. You know what? I can't afford a plane ticket to Europe. And a lot of us can't. So, to be able to get a little piece of that, but also to be able to experience that in brewery form where they are brewing the beer right on site. I think that that would be such an enhancement to their experience. And not that they're not doing this, they may have already thought of this. But I just wanted to let you guys know that this is a place that is out there that I think is doing something very different in the market and innovating. And we also have some other cool places that are innovating or expanding. Green Bench Brewing announced, we knew about this on the last episode, but they officially announced it this week after that episode already had gone out, that they are doing a second location, another location in downtown Tampa, which is really fun. I mean, that's a great way. They're expanding. So while we do have some closures, we also have some expansions. St. Pete Brewing, and I did go over there because they were actually right around the corner from Green Turtle, but I did go in there and they are now also distilling. They have several different choices. It was really cool to kind of see how they put their bar together. So that was just something that it was an innovation that I thought was really cool. I went in and checked it out. You still have the feel of it being St. Pete Brewing, but now you just have more options if you're not drinking beer or you're a big beer drinker, but your friends aren't. It just gives more options. Down in Newport Richie, Dented Keg Ale Works opened up a craft kitchen. I've actually been there twice now. It is kind of closer to where I live. Been going to St. Pete a lot, but I've been there twice. They have flatbreads, they have tacos, they have these big pretzels. They have so many other options, some salads. Everything looked amazing. I had tacos one day. I had a flatbread another day. I also did try the pretzel because I am in love with hot pretzels. And honestly, it was all so good. And that just gives people in the downtown area one thing that, we find in some downtowns is when a brewery doesn't have food and people come in, they have a beer, and then they go, oh, we're going to go get food. And then we may or may not see them again. And this was a great way of saying, you don't have to leave. You can just come experience our atmosphere. They have live music a lot. They have events. They have, bingos and trivias and all that. So that was just kind of a way to, get that going. And honestly, their kitchen is beautiful. The side of the area that has the kitchen area is just absolutely gorgeous. So I was so excited to see that. Dunedin, where I work at Unrefined, also has pretzels now. And I think they're going to add maybe some pizza options down the road. But again, just a great way of saying hey, if you're here to watch the World Cup, we have at Unrefined, they're playing the World Cup quite a bit. And you can have a snack and you can have a beer and we have the TVs on. So that was really cool. There was another one, Late Start Brewing. Late Start Brewing almost looks like a 50s coffee shop, which was such a cool experience. You would never know as you were walking by or as you were driving by, because I don't know how many people would walk over there, that it was a brewery. But you go in, you definitely know it's a brewery right away. And then when you go in a little further, it just has this very retro, cool vibe. It's kind of near an art district. So I hope they really kind of lean into that art kind of area. But, just such a cool, they have a beautiful outdoor space. So I thought that was just a really cool kind of different experience than what we see at some of our other breweries. At Brighter Days, I was there for the Belmont Stakes. I love horse racing, so that was such a cool event. And one of the fun things is they did the stick horse racing before the actual race came on, and they had a kids version and the kids ran around and they had so much fun. And then they had an adult version, and honestly, if you would have thought the kids were going to really, really be competitive and want to win and really kind of get into this stick horse racing, it was the adults. I mean, they're taking their shoes off, they're getting in there. And it was just so fun to watch and see. And that's not normally an event you see at other breweries, but it was just such a fun way of doing it. And there's lots of other things over the summer that we're going to see. So, stick around to your other breweries. look for these really kind of cool events. Look for these spaces, look at the breweries that are innovating because a lot of them are, and I think it's kind of piggybacking onto our last episode when we talked about some of the challenges that we're finding in the market and how sometimes those challenges just aren't able to be met. And that means you have to pivot or you have to move or you have to go somewhere else. Or in some small and rare cases, you have to close. And that doesn't take away from everything that you experienced and that everything you did as you were in business, because all of those things were successes, but sometimes it doesn't work out. And so as I was going out to see some of these just really, really cool innovations that some other breweries were doing, I was just really kind of awestruck that, of course, this is an industry that I love, but to see it kind of, breweries making those pivots, making those innovations, doing those things, it was just beautiful to see. And I did get to talk to a lot of you guys, a lot of people that have seen our clips or watch whole episodes. We're out and about as I've been out and about. And I did kind of I wanted to address one thing that I hear quite a bit, and I know the girls hear it too. And I'm kind of glad they're not in today because I'm putting this all on me. When we started this podcast, we decided that we were only going to come at this from a positive angle. And what I've heard is, well, most people love the educational aspects and they love, how we go into certain topics. They think we're very positive, and I'm going to take that as a compliment. But we always did this. We always went into this saying this is an industry we love and we want everyone to see how much we love it. And so you're not going to see a lot of negativity. There's not going to be a lot of drama. The girls and I love each other very much and we love the industry that we're in. There's a couple things that, like on the last episode, we called out Big Storm by name because if you embezzle $100 million from children, disabled children, we can call you out by name. There are going to be, I don't know if these things will ever happen. So let me say there would be sometimes that we would break that rule and actually call someone out by name. I don't know if we will ever go down a negative path where we call out individual people, breweries, anything in the industry. But I will say we have conversations and we have had those where we will be very real with the industry. Hey, we see this and it's a problem, which we've already done. And we will continue to do that. But we may not call out the individuals, we'll call out the actions. And that's just something that we really feel that is something that we needed to do, that is something that we always wanted to make sure that our love of the industry always comes forward first. And even though there are things that we see from women in beer, from being front of the house, from being in so many different aspects of the industry, we're going to see things that maybe others don't. And we aren't going to call those things out. We're just going to do it in a way that honors the industry overall, that doesn't call out individuals. If you feel like something we said was directed towards you, that wasn't us doing it. That was you finding something in what we said that reflects something that you're doing. It's not because we thought of you. We literally have many, many episodes already planned out. So these things aren't things that we're seeing. It didn't just happen. We're seeing maybe in multiple places or multiple, just what we're hearing from craft beer enthusiasts. So if there's ever an episode where it feels like we're calling out a certain brewery, we're probably not. It's just a topic that we wanted to hit and we wanted to cover. And if you feel that that's your experience at a certain place, then that's kind of between you and that place, but it wasn't us actually calling them out. So will you see a lot of drama? Probably not. Will you see some real talk? Absolutely. And we're always gonna try to highlight more of the good than the bad. And I've seen so much good in the last couple weeks. So there's so much to highlight. When the girls come back and can join me, then there's going to be so many really cool topics coming up. And if you follow along, you're going to get some great information. I am not going to make this a very long episode because who wants to hear me talk for a very long time? I sure don't. I'm sure you don't either. We will have a longer episode when I get with my beautiful ladies. But I just wanted to let you know there's so many really cool places out there. and there's more and more coming. And then, so just go out there, see all the innovation, kind of do your thing. I hope more breweries lean into their theme. I know most breweries kind of have a theme as far as decor or a name, and I hope you really lean into that, because I think that you have an audience that really wants to experience what you have going on more than just drink great beer. So I hope we see more leaning into those great themes or innovation to find solutions to some of the problems we have in the industry. And I'll be there to see it, to report on it, for lack of a better word, but to tell all you about it and to get more people out at breweries, because I mean, this is just an industry that deserves our support, not because I'm in it or because Kat's in it or because Taylor's in it, but because it's just a unique industry where everybody does truly care for each other and the community. And that's something that I think should be celebrated. I will see you on the next episode. Bye.